So a brand new era of its Serie A, as of course the Italian league starts life without Ronaldo. But of course what happened prior to the international break will bring you back up to speed with of course some shockers next. That's right, folks, back once again with a prediction video today. We look forward to Matchday, was it number 3 over in Serie A, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you do, where you been, smash your subscribe and get you bang up to date with all things Serie A related, Blackburn Rovers related, world football related. We got it all here under one roof. Of course, Ronaldo switches gears, going back to the Premier League with Manchester United. But of course, what did he leave behind? We'll take a look at that in a minute. Of course, big shout out to the VIPs. They are the Patreons, boys and girls. Big shout out to you guys. Thank you for your loving. I do appreciate it. If you want to become the latest brother from another mother, check out those links down below. Patreon.com/RoofSeas. From as little to as much as you like. Anyway, that's the situation, of course. But anyway, let's bring you back up today with what you missed last time around. Let's jump in the deep end and have a look at how we got up to this stage, of course, from the last time around prior to the international break. Udinese against Venezia, of course. Fantastic start for Udinese continues. Of course, back-to-back wins now. Of course, 3-0 win over Venezia last round. Verona against Internazionale. Of course, Internazionale continued their fantastic start to defending their title. 3-1 win over Verona. So well done to you. Atalanta, though, could only muster a draw against Bologna at home, so a bit of a stuttered start there. I went with a 3-0 win, so shame on me. Lazio, though, smashed by Spezia, 6-1 win at home, 2-0 win for me. Fiorentina, though, they picked up a big win against Torino, 2-1 in the end. I actually went with a 1-0 win myself, so not too shabby. Juventus, though, shock loss against Empoli. I shouldn't laugh. 1-0 win for Empoli, 3-0 win was my pick. What was I thinking of? Well, I was thinking what was going to happen. Genoa played Napoli, 2-1 win in the end. I went with a 2-1 win myself, so I got the one bang on point. Sassuolo against Sampdoria was a 0-0 draw. Of course, happy with that. I went with a 2-0 win for Sassuolo. Of course, my boys are Sampdoria. AC Milan picked up a win against Cagliari, 4-1 in the end, 3-0 win for me. And of course, finally, there, of course, Roma smashed up past Salernitana. Of course, 4-0 in the end, 2-0 win for me. So what's that done to the table? We'll have a look at. Of course, only played 2 so far. Lazio lead the charge. Of course, Internazionale up there with Roma and AC, with Napoli breathing down the next. Of course, Venezia, Genoa and Salernitana going down as it stands. But of course, it is early days. A lot of football to be played. And of course, so don't worry your jets just yet. Genoa. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, let's take a look at the prediction league. Of course, for now, we do have supposedly a manager of the month, but I think for after 2 games, it's a bit of a joke. But Alex, when I showed it on all the Mexican snipers up there and Barcelonista up there as well, with in top honours with this week with 8. I don't even know how many I got. But of course, the prediction league says right here, right now, the joint prediction kings at the moment is Alex and Shane O'Donnell. So in theory, they are your managers of the month. Now we're going to actually officially have 1 manager of the month. We're going to do some sort of spin the deal kind of thing next week. So be on the lookout for that next time around, of course. But that's then. Of course, we have a static link now for the, of course, prediction leagues in Italy. It's cut.4/Serie A. That is right. So here we go. If you want to get involved, it's free to enter. Jump in the deep end and have a bit of fun. So here we go then, shall we? Of course, AC Milan taking on Lazio with a bit of a zinger kicking off the weekend. Of course, post-internationals. Played each other 66 times since 1993. 28 wins for AC, 14 wins for Lazio, and 24 draws. The biggest win for AC was, of course, a 5-1 win. The biggest win the other way was a 4-0 win. Last time played each other, of course, in Milan was a 3-2 win for Milan back in December 2020. Of course, they're coming to 3 wins on the spin for Milan. Of course, Lazio unbeaten in 6, picking up 83% form so far. Of course, Lazio picking wins up against Spezia and Empoli. Of course, they are strugglers. You would anticipate them to struggle. On the flip side, Milan picking up wins against Cagliari and Sampdoria again. Not really a top-class opposition. A first real encounter for both of these 2 teams. 11-10 is your AC, 20-10 is your Lazio. Of course, 35 is your draw. Of course, the bookies back in AC. I'm going with a draw. 2-2. I cannot really separate 2 sides at this moment in time. Next up, of course, we have Roma. They're going to be taking, of course, Sassuolo. Or are we? Of course, I'm trying to find the situation on this game. But I'm having a bit of an issue for finding it. I think I've got it. Played 16 times in 2013. Of course, 8 wins for Roma, 1 win for Sassuolo, 7 draws. The biggest win for Roma over Sassuolo was a 3-0 win. The biggest win was a 4-2 win. Last time I played, of course, in Roma was a 0-0 draw. In fact, the past 2 games, both home and away, have ended up in draws. Of course, Roma so far so good for them. Of course, 2 wins out of 2, picking up wins against Salernitana and Fiorentina. Also wins against Trabzonspor in the Conference League as well. On the flip side, Sassuolo coming to this on the back of an unbeaten start as well, picking up a win against Verona and a draw against Sampdoria. not too shabby. Look at the odds on this one. We don't have odds. Or we do have odds. It's 11-8 on is your Roma. 29-10 is your Sassuolo. Long shots. 10-3 is your draw. So Roma are your bookies' favourites. Me too. I'm going with Mourinho. 3-0 win in the end. Atalanta will take on Fiorentina also on this match day. The pleasure, of course, 46 times since 1995. 10 wins for Atalanta, 19 wins for Fiorentina, and 17 draws. The biggest win for Atalanta over Fiorentina, 3-0. The biggest win the other way was a 5-0 win. Last time pleasure, of course, in Atalanta was in fact that 3-0 win back in December 2020. Of course, Atalanta winning the last 3 on the spin against Fiorentina. Last time Fiorentina won was in the Coppa Italia back in January 2020. Atalanta coming to this on the back of unbeaten start, of course, 1-1 drew, 1 as for Fiorentina, 1-1 loss, 1 picking up a win against Torino and losing to Roma in the opening couple of days of the season. Bookies odds 9-4 on is your Atalanta, 4-1 is your, 5-1 is your long shots. That's Fiorentina, of course. Bookies going with the hosts. So am I with a 1-0 win. Not big enough, but just enough to get the 3 points. And of course, move the bloody chains. Cagliari take on Genoa. You know what I mean? Played each other 40 times since 1993. 17 wins for Cagliari, 16 wins for Genoa, 7 draws. The biggest win for Cagliari, 4-1 win. The biggest win the other way was a 3-1 win. Last time played, of course, in Cagliari was a 1-0 win for Genoa. In fact, they've won the last 3 on the spin in 1-0s, of course, over Cagliari. So 3 1-0s on a row for Genoa. Of course, last time Cagliari picked up a win was in Cagliari back in 2019. Of course, heading into this, Cagliari back to they've not yet to get going, of course. Lost against AC, drew with Spezia. Genoa also back-to-back defeats for them, losing Inter and Napoli. They are big boys, so you anticipate them to lose them anyway. Look at the odds on this one. What do we have? Cagliari 11-10 on for the victory. 20-10 is your Genoa. 5-2 is your draw. Evens, kind of Stevens in the way for me on this one. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw on this. Next up we have Bologna up against Hellas Verona, also on the same match day. That's September the 11th. They've played each other 23 times since 1996. 13 wins for Bologna, 4 wins for Verona, and 6 draws. The biggest win for Bologna over Verona, 6-1 win. The biggest win the other was a 4-1 win. Last time played, of course, in Bologna was a 1-0 win for Bologna. It was back in January 2021. Heading into this, of course, Bologna unbeaten start to the campaign, picked up a win against Salernitana, also a draw against Atalanta on the road. On the flip side, Verona back-to-back defeats for them, of course, losing to Sassuolo and Internazionale. Both of those games were at home, so this is the first away match of the campaign. Of course, look at the odds on this one. We have, what do we have on this? I'm trying to find it. Bologna. Where are you? There you are. Of course, 11-10 is your host. 30-5 is your draw. 20-10 is your Verona. The book is going with the hosts. I'm going with a draw as well on this one. 0-0 in the end. Empoli will take on, of course, Venezia. Of course, this last time around, this was in Serie B. They played each other 50 times since 1999. 3 wins for Empoli, 7 wins for Venezia. 5 draws. The biggest win for Empoli over Venezia was a 5-2 win. The biggest win there was a 2-0 win. Last time I played each other, of course, in Empoli was in Serie B back in February 2021. It was a 1-1 draw. Last time Empoli won against Venezia at home was a 3-2 win back in 2018. It's been a while, of course. Empoli coming into this on the back of a decent start, of course, losing to Lazio, picking up a win in Turin against Juventus, of course, and on the flip side, Venezia back-to-back defeats for them, losing to Napoli, losing to Udinese, yet to score a goal. Anyway, what's happened now? A little bit weird. Of course, heading into the bookies odds, we have Empoli 5-4 on the Are you favourites? 3-1 is your Venezia, 40-5 is your draw. Going to go with a win for Venezia on this one, of course. Empoli with that fantastic start, but they'll have a nightmare for me on this one. Torino, who are just, I don't know what's going on with Torino. They're going to hopefully be taking on, of course, Salernitana. I don't see the situation in the data here, but we'll have a look. We'll break it down in just a second. Just got to dig it out. Come on then, dig it out, son. Dig it out. There you are. Torino against that. So I don't have any odds on this one, but of course they played each other 10 times since 1997. 4 wins apiece, 2 draws. The biggest win for Torino over Salernitana. 3-0 win. The biggest win there was a 2-0 win. Last time played each other, of course, in Torino was a 3-2 win for Salernitana in Serie B back in 2010. It's been 11 years since these two sides have locked horns. Last time Torino won at home against these guys. It was a 2-0 win back in 2001. It's been 20 years. Wow, wee wow. Of course, Torino heading into this back-to-back defeats, losing to Fiorentina, losing to Atalanta. Difficult start to the campaign. Meanwhile, Salernitana coming to this, also back-to-back defeats, losing to Bologna, losing to Roma as well. Got no odds on this one. My gut instinct goes with the hosts on this one to get a win. 2-1 win as well to give themselves finally some points on the board. And of course, maybe a bit of belief that they won't be in a relegation battle once again. Next up, of course, are my boys, Sampdoria, taking on Internazionale. They played each other 51 times in 1993. 10 wins for Sampdoria, 27 wins for Internazionale, 14 draws. The biggest win for Sampdoria over Inter was a 4-0 win. The biggest win there was a 5-0 win. Last time I played, of course, in Sampdoria was a 2-1 win for Sampdoria. Of course, that was back in January 2021. Sampdoria coming to this, you haven't scored a goal so far. Of course, new manager, no Ranieri these days. Of course, lost to Milan, and of course, picked up a draw against Sassuolo. On the flip side, Internazionale scoring 7 goals in the first 2 games, conceding once against Verona, though, as of course they try to defend their title. The odds are 4-1 for Sampdoria, 13-8 on is your Internazionale, 40-5 is your draw. Internazionale should win this one. 3-0 win, gone big as well for them. Unfortunately, my boys course, suffer a defeat. Into the final two now, we have Spezia taking on Udinese. Of course, Udinese started off pretty well for themselves, of course, I think top of the table at the moment. And the finish of the 3 times 2016, 2 wins for Spezia, 1 for Udinese, no draws. The biggest win for Spezia, 2-0. The biggest win the other way was a 1-0. Of course, last time around at Spezia was in fact that 1-0 win for Udinese, of course. In fact, over the course of these 3 matches, the hosts have always lost, so that's an interesting stat of this one. Of course, Spezia comes in with a draw so far on the campaign. Of course, they did lose to Lazio 6-1 last round. Meanwhile, Udinese are not top of the league. Of course, they picked up a win against Venezia. They did draw against Juventus, which of course right now looks like a shitty result because Empoli picked up the win. Of course, heading into this though, what are we looking at the odds? We have Spezia 7-4. We have Udinese 6-4. Very, very tight odds on that one. And 23-10 is your draw. I've gone with a 1-0 win for Udinese to have a narrow win. Of course, another 3 points in the bag. And then finally, we do have a zinger chicken dinner at the end here. We have Napoli up against Juventus. Probably, a battle for the top 4 clash encounter here. Pleasure the 52 times is 93. 15 wins for Napoli. 27 wins for Juventus. 10 draws. Of course, the biggest win either of the 2 sides. 3-0 win over each other. Last time around in Naples, there was a 1-0 win for Napoli back in February 2021. Of course, last time that the away side won in this game, it's been a while. Bloody hell, it's been a while. It was a 2-1 win for Juventus back in 2019 in Napoli, of course. Heading into, of course, Napoli back-to-back wins, of course, beating Genoa, beating Venezia. Meanwhile, of course, Juventus, just the 1 point for them so far at the first 2 games. A bit of a rough start for Allegri's return. Look at the odds, 70-10 for Napoli, 5-2 is your 6-4 is your away win. That is Juve. I'm going to go with a win for the hosts on this one, Napoli, and put Juventus in a bit of trouble. That's my picks. Let me know your picks, of course, using the old savvy little link, right, we got here, cut.ly/Serie A. And of course, be sure to give the video some love and smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe, boys and girls, of course, give it some love and of course, check out the links down below. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Twitch, I'm on Facebook, and of course, I'm on Patreon as well if you want to support the channel in another way. That's the best place to do it. Check it all out. Until then, see you soon, mask up and all that kind of stuff, be safe out there, and of course, see you when we come back around.